one. Okay, this has been a long time coming, but this is Ben's Journaling 101, my Journaling 101. It's a deep dive into the systems I use daily with my journal to build a life I want to live. This will be short, sweet, quick to the point. Let me have a sip of water, and then we'll dive in. If you want to take notes, you can, but my best advice is take some notes, write it down, and then tomorrow implement it. You don't need to have a journal. You don't need to buy a journal to do this. I really recommend, like, if you've just got some A4 paper lying around at home, use that for the first week as your journal. And then if it's been helping you, commit to buying. You can buy one from me, from Dream Journals, or just pop to your local stationery store. Um, they will have some. But right, let's go in. The first exercise that I do every single day is the morning page. This is an exercise done every morning to clear your mind of all of the information, noise, the brain rot that you've either consciously or unconsciously consumed throughout the day. Like, this is a great image, one I really love, because our brains are basically like sponges, to use an analogy. If you've got a dirty sponge in the kitchen, you've been washing dishes, if you wring out that sponge, it's still going to be dirty. And the body has a natural process of clearing your mind and processing the information we've consumed and the things we've been through. And that is sleep. That's why sleep is so important. However, just like a dirty sponge, if you consume loads of bad information, when you wring out that sponge, it's still going to be dirty. And what the morning pages are an exercise to essentially rinse that sponge, rinse your brain out with some fresh water. So when you start your day, you're completely clear. We wash away, wash away the gunk. So what does this exercise look like? Morning pages are actually very, very simple. It's 3 pages of longhand writing. Sorry, spelling mistakes. 3 pages of longhand writing, and is a continuous stream of consciousness. The goal is not to sound coherent, not to sound fancy, not to be writing down your feelings like you would if you've just had a breakup. Oh, I'm so sad. She's just left me. No. The goal is just to write down exactly what you are feeling in the moment. It's opening the tap to your subconscious and letting the feelings and emotions flow. So a great example of this would be the morning pages I did today. When I woke up, I did my meditation, and then I opened my journal. I was like, right, the first thing I picked up, I was like, okay, right, I'm going to do my morning pages. I sat here at this desk and I just wrote, and I was just writing down my feelings. Like, oh man, I'm a bit stressed. I've got this meeting at work coming up. I'm meeting my mentor for the first time. He's an international badminton player, played in the Olympics. Oh man, like, how am I going to do this? I'm a bit worried. And I just wrote down all my thoughts. And at the end of it, once I dumped everything down, my mind is clear. Look, I know I've got a meeting with Howard Hsu later. He's basically my idol. I'm meeting my hero, which you're not meant to do. But all I can do is go into it, be me, and ask him the questions I want to ask him. Just to show up as me. There's no guarantee he's going to mentor me long term, but it would be amazing if he did. The goal is just to get down those thoughts, get it out of your mind. So when you then look at planning your day, looking at your higher signal tasks, we'll get onto that next, you have a clear mind to approach it. Now, look, I got this exercise from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And in it, she talks about how there is no right way to do your morning pages. And there is no right way. There's only one condition. You have to do 3 pages. So look, if you've got an A5 journal, 3 pages is not very much. If you're doing an A4 journal, 3 pages is a lot. So I think it's 3 pages of an A5 journal. And the goal is you just have to hit the 3 pages. Sometimes I go on for 5 or 6, just when I've just got so much going on in my head. But the goal is just hit 3. If you've written 1.5 and think, man, I don't have anything to write, just write, I don't know what to write. 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 The goal is just to fill out that page. And once you're done, you'll be ready for the next step. You will have a completely clear mind and you'll be ready to go. Down here. Oh, I don't want to do that. All of the thoughts in your mind, subconscious, consciousness, will be down on the page and you will have clarity. Stage 2, the signal to noise ratio. Look at this handsome man, Mr. Steve Jobs. You're probably watching this on a Mac or an iPhone. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe you've got a PC, but this is a principle that was kind of coined by Steve Jobs. Very similar to the 80-20 rule, but essentially it goes, in life, there's pretty much only 3 to 5 things you can do daily, 3 to 5 things, that will move you in the direction of the life you want to live. Only 3 to 5 things. For Steve Jobs, he would focus on 3 to 5 essential tasks for an 18-hour cycle to achieve extraordinary results. You can't argue with the fact he achieved those results by eliminating anything and everything that didn't directly contribute to the mission, to what he was building. And in the 80-20 concept, it's 80% is the signal 20% is the noise. If you're like me and you're working in an office, there are so many random meetings that go on throughout the day. That's just loads and loads of noise. When really what you want to do if you're a software engineer, if you're a designer, you want to be working on the task at hand, the thing that has the most impact, that's important. Now, you'll notice I've enlisted 3. And this is because this exercise, the way I use my journal and Signal, is to work on my business, to work on my projects outside of work, outside of my 9 to 5. Because look, it provides stability, but I want to be doing other things outside. And that's why we've only got 3, because you've got less time to work with. If you're not working in the 9 to 5, if you're an entrepreneur, go for 5. Go for 5 Signal tasks. But I really recommend you start with 1 to 3, because more often than not, it's just those things which are the highest leverage, that are gonna move you in the direction of the life you want. So yeah, what I then do after I've cleared my head, I've done my morning pages, is I usually at the bottom of the page, I will write Signal, underline it, and write 1, 2, 3. And I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to spend loads of time saying, I'm not going to spend loads of time thinking, what is my highest Signal task? It should just come to you. Just trust your instinct, trust your gut, trust the words that come to your mind, and just write them down. 1, 2, 3, done. You might look at it and be like, man, this doesn't make much sense. Why did it say I should dance? What does it mean, go dance? I don't know. Only you know. It's come from your subconscious. So for me, was to read up on Charles Eames. So he's a prominent designer. There's a Charles Eames book down in a cafe near where I live. That's where I first read it. I was like, oh man, I gotta go read it. So I've already done that today. Next one, call with my mentor with how to after work. A bit scared, but that's gonna happen at 5. And then play badminton and upload the clips I filmed. So video going up today, it's a badminton clip of me getting smoked, and I'm doing badminton social later. Simple high Signal tasks, right? Because when you think about what my goals are, international badminton player, running a suite of small businesses, focus on one small business and getting out of the tier 4s, really. So yeah, train badminton, work on dream journals, like this video. Done. Once you've done that, once you've identified your high Signal tasks, you can move on to the next step. Stage 3. Stage 3, take aim, take action. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Inaction, maybe like this. I don't know. What does Grammarly say? I think like this. Inaction, every step of the way. This is a principle that I got from Bruce Lee. From Bruce Lee in his book, the book written by his daughter, and all of his thoughts would be like water. Now, most of you, when you think of Bruce Lee, you just think martial artist, actor, but you don't think philosopher, when really Bruce Lee was a very prominent philosopher, had many, many writings. If you're interested in reading the book where this came from, it's called Be Like Water. Be Like Water. And it's by Shannon Lee. I would really, really recommend it. But the principle is so, so simple. Once you've taken aim on your goal, on a task, on what you're going to do for the day, take action. Take action on the thing you said you're going to do. Don't procrastinate. This is why I wake up at 6 every day. I wake up at 6, I meditate, I do my morning pages, I set my intention, and then from 7 to 8, I do deep work. I do deep focused work on the things I want to do outside of work, outside of my 9 to 5. And I get that easy win in first thing in the morning. You do the hard thing, especially when you don't feel like it. You eat the frog. You take aim, you take action. It is so, so simple, but this is the step that most people fail at, right? Everyone is very good at thinking big, at being like, yeah, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But who actually takes the action? Who actually does the thing? So now that you've done your morning page, you've cleared your mind, you've got that focus, you've got that clarity, you've trusted your subconscious and written down your Signal tasks, do them. If it was dance, do like a little dance in your bedroom. Maybe it was do some footwork for your badminton. Go out onto the road and do some footwork. Like, of course, everyone's lives are different. We all have different responsibilities and different things, but the goal is to work around your constraint. If you're a uni student and you want to implement this, you've got lectures, right? You have to go to your lectures, you have to go to your seminars. Well, maybe you don't, but I recommend you do for your own sake and studying your degree. But outside of your 9 to 5, your classes, you can implement this, right? If you wake up half an hour earlier, you can do your morning pages and maybe read that book you've been procrastinating on. And it's that same thing. Your 9 to 5 is only from 9 to 5. Your university is likely open, if you're unlucky, from 8 to 6, right? So I do an hour of deep work in the morning, and then in the afternoons and the evenings, I usually do a deep work period from 7 to 9 once I get back home after dinner. And of course, this varies and depends on your situation. Like today, I'm recording this in the middle of the day. Right, I've done all my work. But you must take aim and you must take action in whatever capacity you can. You do not want to build a life habit of not taking action, of not finishing what you start. You don't want that. Build a life habit of doing the things you say you're going to do. Stage 3, done. Stage 4, easy, does it. I'm just such a chill guy. There is no rush, right? My brand, what I'm talking about here is about building a life you want to live. But building a life you want to live takes time and is a slow process. And there's going to be ups and downs, and many times you're going to think you found the thing that's going to be yours for the rest of your life. For me, I thought this was startups. When I landed a creative directorship in my final year, I was like, man, this is the perfect thing. I'm being paid to create content, paid to direct the brand, paid to do all of this. For a startup, a tech startup, man, it's like crossing all of my interests. I thought it was perfect. But after 3 months, I realized, bro, I'm spending like 12, 14 hours a day building someone else's dream. Like it takes time and it takes clarity. And that's why the journal is such a powerful tool, because you're able to go through life and then reflect. It's like the journal on its own, I always say this, is it's kind of a useless thing. If all you spend is sit inside and be introspective, you never get to experience life. Like it's all about the experience. Um, but the key is to take it slowly, right? There is no rush. Like what I've learned is, I keep trying to highlight it, does this thing, is it's much more important to embrace life as a process. To not focus on the money, on the status, on the outcomes, but to focus on the process, on doing the thing, on setting a course and taking the action and just putting in that hard work every day. And if you're doing it truly out of passion, finding that thing that you love, that money and status and the outcome will come. Like it's a very difficult shift, a very difficult belief shift, but truly, if you trust the process and you do something to serve, to help, the benefits will come, right? In the past, I often didn't see any improvement because I didn't trust the process. I was constantly looking for new things that were going to help me change my life. This like shiny object syndrome. It's only when I stuck with one thing for an extended period of time that I actually saw change, right? One of my favorite quotes is play long-term games with long-term people. Play long-term games with long-term people. And if there's one person you're really in the long-term game with, it's you. It's yourself. The most important relationship you have with anyone is the relationship you have with yourself, right? So make that commitment to understanding yourself, understanding why. Morning pages is an exercise of getting your feelings out of your mind onto the page. As you do it for weeks and then months, you will slowly learn more about yourself. It's tapping into your subconscious, like who you are in its purest form, without distractions, without any influx of information before the day, right? It's going to be long, hard, painful at times, but push through, really, please. Like, to avoid building a life that is someone else's dream, you have to go through the pain of getting to know yourself, of asking why, of asking the difficult questions. You have to take the time to get to know yourself. Because if you do, and you reap those rewards at the end, it's going to be so, so much better. Right? That is my journaling 101. That is the process I go through every single day, and it actually pairs really, really well with my goal setting. In front of my journal, I have like a little card, my goals that I'm working towards, that I look at every day as well in the morning. And this really helps aligning your intention and your signal. But I'm not going to go into it here. I've linked it in the little Notion doc you can see that you've got access to here. So go watch that if you want to. It's a bit unrefined, it's kind of off the riff, but I will be making a new version of that too. If you want to get a journal, support the brand, support the mission, support the cause, you can get a dream journal. The link is also down there. free international shipping on orders over £75. I'm literally doing that later today. I got a DM from someone who's in Taiwan, free. Um, and she was just like, Ben, it's so expensive. Okay, fine, I'll put this on. If you've got any more questions about journaling, if you implement this, please let me know how it goes. Like if you send me a DM, I'll answer usually most messages that come with a clear ask. Like I'm busy, but I do have time. I make time for this. And most importantly, share this with someone you think it would help. At the end of the day, we're a community of people building a life we want to live, right? And if this video, my experience, my systems, can help one more person, that would mean the world to me. So please share it, implement it, and let me know how it goes. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep dreaming.